We have a problem in the United States of America, and it goes like this. I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't have made me. That's a manipulation technique, and it's in the context of all of the riot activity, violence, and chaos we have been seeing from the siege of LA this past weekend. I, of course, am Joshua Lisec with Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author and a ghostwriter of now, as of Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ghostwriter of 100 nonfiction books. I'm also a certified hypnotist. Through this unique set of experiences, I teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life and your career. So, as you know, in response to an immigration and customs enforcement raid in the Los Angeles area, there were a number of catastrophic riots. Now, catastrophic because businesses are being destroyed, cars are being torched, highways are being hijacked, if that's really a thing. Police officers are being targeted for murder, for slaughter. This is happening, and it's happening in mass. It's a rough time. Now, what, of course, are the LA mayor, Karen Bass, and I was just in LA a few days ago, by the way. Interesting times. Who could have seen it coming? I could have. And Governor Gavin Newsom, what are they doing? They are both blaming Donald J. Trump for this. They're saying that he's emboldening the chaos. They're saying that he's inviting it. They're saying that he's instigated, that he's triggered all of this. Now, of course, this tends to work on normies, this sort of language. Oh, yeah, well, if you hadn't have, then they wouldn't have. But let's think about this for a minute. Okay, what is ICE actually doing? Well, ICE is enforcing immigration law. We have a significant number of people in California. Estimates are as many as 12 million illegal immigrants. And as we know, an illegal immigrant, the illegal immigrant population, has a 100% crime rate. If you are an illegal immigrant, you are in fact you have committed a crime. I don't know what else to tell you. So we have ICE doing their job, enforcing federal law, or attempting to, with these deportations. It's only fair. You break the law. We are subject to that as citizens. We are subject to federal law. Because you're an illegal immigrant, you're somehow not. You somehow have special privileges that are not afforded to citizens. This, by the way, is a narco-tyranny that we write about in Unhumans right here, The Secret History of Communist Revolutions and How to Crush Them. And we talk about how a narco-tyranny, often through illegal immigrants and criminals, the chronically unemployed, how that population is given advantages and privileges that are not afforded law-abiding citizens. Is to foment the chaos and create a sense of fear, which keeps the totalitarians in power, which of course is the case with Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom. And he pointed out that every single Democratic governor across the United States agrees with him. And I think that says a lot about Democrats, does it not? Now, where is the lesson here for us? For too long, good people in America have allowed BS under the guise of compassionate conservatism. Well, they're dreamers. They've been here for so long, and it's just like they're part of the culture, and they pay, local taxes and sales taxes, and they pay property taxes through the rent. And, they just take the jobs for such low pay that like literally nobody wants to do. And it's this sort of heartstrings plucking that happens in response to this. Have you ever met someone who's been married to and now divorced from a narcissist? An actual clinical narcissist, not someone who just had strong boundaries. Okay, an actual narcissist. What do? They use the language of, I wouldn't have if you hadn't made me have no other way to get my needs met. Well, you told me yourself this was important to you, didn't you? These are the sorts of things that they will say. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm just trying to do right by us both, they will say. The dynamic in the United States is that the right has been the abused spouse, and the left has been the narcissistic personality disorder, chronically BPD type of personality that is manipulated, that is abused the right, and all good and normal people and citizens across every single state where Democrats, where the left has power. And so when the right, when that abused spouse finally has enough and says, I don't deserve to be treated this way, I'm going to enforce federal laws already on the books. Or rather, I'm going to have boundaries that I should have had from the very beginning. What does the narcissistic abuser do? Whoa, that's way too far. You're going way too far. Oh, that's just too far. Oh, wow. Are you trying to manipulate me? How dare you treat me this way? I deserve your respect. Do you understand how you're making me feel? Look how bad this looks. You're just going through a really hard time right now. Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, and the Democratic Party writ large is the narcissistic ex-spouse of the United States of America. I don't know what else to tell you. So when these illegals are chucking rocks and fireworks of horses, by the way, trying to hurt and scare the horses, and they're all vegans naturally, these leftists, no surprise there. I'm not vegan anymore, finally, by the way. It was a decade of that, and I realized, wow, maybe plant-based is not best. I think fiber is good, very good, but now my diet is 80% red meat, and it shows. So we have violence that's happening towards people and animals, and we are seeing on video setting cars on fire, throwing items at police officers, throwing from underpasses, trying to hurt and kill. And we're hearing things like the protesters say, Spanish to English translated, aim for their heads. Okay. And then Gavin and Karen says, well, if you weren't trying to enforce immigration law, they wouldn't be trying to murder you. So it's your fault. That's what the narcissistic abusive spouse does. When you finally start treating yourself with minimum viable respect as a human being, minimum viable respect as a human being, and you expect that, you demand that of yourself, right? They then overreact so hard and say, look at what you made me do. Look at what you made me do. Democrats are the narcissistic ex. And the best thing you can do from these personalities in your life and in our nation is to follow Scott Adams' advice, which is get the hell away. Just stay away.